Ma'am, you want to know who was targeted by a weaponized FBI? Me. You want to know how and why?
Well,
You want to know what I'm doing to fix it?
about that. The FBI cannot be weaponized, and under your leadership, it has been nothing but a weapon alongside the president. Let me move on.
Well, you should
Change
read the
topics.
book because there's no enemies
So-
list on that book.
So
There are
you-
people that violated their constitutional obligations and their duties to the American people.
That's good. You
And they
gave
were
them due
rightly
process.
called out.
I'm
And you
changing
should
topics.
give that book to every one of your constituents so they can
changing
read
topics.
about it.
Should we worry more about your
go.
memory or your veracity?
We should worry more about your lack of candor. You're accusing me of committing perjury.
Veracity?
Tell the American people
didn't
how
know.
I broke the law and committed a felony. Have the audacity to actually put the
all right,
facts
then
forward
the answer is
instead of
both.
lying for political banter so you can have a 20-second
answer
donation hit.
The answer is both. I believe that the
The
men and
answer is
women of
you're
the
failing, not
I
me.
reclaim my time.
Go ahead.
So you agree with the president when he says he doesn't know if he should uphold his constitutional duty?
If you want to just keep putting words in my mouth, the TV cameras are outside.
Patel is, I'm so glad he is the FBI director because, like I've said in other videos, the people that need to run this country need to be leaders of this country in every aspect. And still knowing and understanding and respecting the President of the United States and not to step on his or her toes. I still believe in my lifetime we will have a woman president. That's going to be a different topic. But with Kash Patel, I really like the way he speaks because he's not one to buckle under pressure, from what I have noticed in previous videos. And, you know, they were giving him a lot of flack. They weren't going to confirm him to be the FBI director because of his past history of things that he said in regards to certain actions that needed to take place within our government that not the typical politician may agree with. And these are the people that we need. We need people that are outside the box, outside the political spectrum to come in and clean shop, because allowing all the political people to continue to stay in power until they're 150 million years old is not the answer. Those are the people that have already figured out the way to be corrupt, to continue to be corrupt, and to pass all that money to their next political partner or family member. And that's not what we need. I like that. I think Vivek was the one that said it. He believes that everybody in Congress should have everybody in the government should have term limits. Everybody. There shouldn't be anybody where you come into power and you're there until you feel like retire, passing the torch, or passing away. Let's watch Kash Patel in this clash with Madeleine Dean. I'm not sure who she is, but let's check this out.
Thank you, Mr. Patel, for your testimony and for being here today. I've been looking at the president's 120-word FBI budget request, the so-called skinny, I'll call it Ozempic request, that states that, quote, the undoing of the weaponization of the FBI is one of the administration's top priorities. The weaponization of the FBI is something that deeply concerns me. It should concern all of us. And yet, since taking office, President Trump has been on a revenge tour. He has targeted individuals, universities, law firms, with executive orders to cut them out or to make them come under his will. He has used ICE to disappear U.S. citizens without due process, and he's fully ignored a unanimous Supreme Court order, and then over the weekend wasn't sure if he was obligated to uphold the Constitution of the United States. In your book, your recent...
Oh my God, there is so many things, everything she just said. Oh my, I have so much to say on every single point she just said. First, I need to find out who the heck she is before I start speaking. Ms. Dean, let me find out who she is first. Okay, so it looks like Madeleine Dean, I can't say her last name. She's an American lawyer and politician serving as the U.S. representative for Pennsylvania's district. Okay, Before being elected to Congress, Dean was a Democrat member of the Pennsylvania General Assembly, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Assumed office January 3rd, 2019. She should only be serving 4 years. I don't care what aspect or what political position in any aspect from city council all the way to the president. Like, you should only be serving 4 years. You shouldn't be serving any more than that. And there needs to be an age gap. Nobody talks about this. There needs to be an age cap. I'm sorry, not gap, cap. I think you should be over 30 and under 50 to become president of the United States. If you're more than 50 years old, I'm sorry, no. I don't know. I don't understand how we, the people, are risking our livelihood, our existence as a country to old ass people. I mean, I'm not jabbing at Donald Trump, but it's just we need to get the people in their prime, 30 to 50. I think is people in their prime. That's my opinion, though. That's my opinion.
Book, Government Gangsters. You include an appendix with a list of names that people have referred to as an enemies list. Now, I know you will claim it's just an appendix, not an enemies list. So let's focus on how the president sees it, on what the president calls it. And you proudly display his quote on the front cover of your book. The president calls this a brilliant roadmap, a blueprint. And I have not even raised your storied children's book, The Plot Against the King. It concerns me how many people from this blueprint have been targeted with executive orders and FBI investigations. The FBI cannot be weaponized, and under your leadership, it has been nothing but a weapon alongside the president to go after the president's perceived opponents, to stifle dissent and free speech. A few weeks ago, as we saw through a social media post that you quickly deleted, the FBI arrested a judge in Wisconsin for correctly asking ICE officials if they had a judicial warrant instead of an administrative warrant, which they did not have. Despite this judge following the law, on the morning of April the 25th, the FBI arrested the judge in an escalation of the weaponization of the FBI under your leadership. Let me be clear. A functioning democracy does not lock up judges. I am gravely concerned about the utter lack of independence of the FBI and its weaponization under your leadership. I am concerned that the president is using this book, your book, as a blueprint, as he has said. It's a blueprint for revenge. And I am concerned that your eagerness, a childlike giddiness to carry out the president's revenge tour, you've shown yourself to be unserious in your statements before you were sworn in and some after. You've shown yourself unfit to lead this important agency. I was an impeachment manager for President Trump's second impeachment. It was a sad, solemn duty. And so I wanted to ask you about that. Mr. Patel, as you and the president continue to weaponize and investigate his perceived enemies, as you follow this blueprint, when can I, a former impeachment manager, expect the FBI at my door?
Ma'am, you want to know who was targeted by a weaponized FBI? Me. You want to know how and why?
Well,
You want to know what I'm doing to fix it?
Let me move on.
Well, you should
Change
read the
topics.
book because there's no enemies
So-
list on that book.
So
There are
you-
people that violated their constitutional obligations and their duties to the American people.
That's good. You
And they
gave
were
them due
rightly
process.
called out.
I'm
And you
changing
should give
topics.
that book to every one of your constituents so they can read about it.
I won't be doing that.
That's their loss.
During your Senate confirmation hearings, you repeatedly denied having any involvement as a private citizen in the firing of FBI officials who engaged in the prosecution against January 6 insurrectionists, the violent rioters who beat and killed Capitol police officers, and whom you referred to as political prisoners. Since then, multiple whistleblowers have come forward, and we know that you likely committed perjury. At the same hearing, you claimed you were not familiar with Stu Peters, an anti-Semitic Holocaust denier, despite the fact that you appeared on Mr. Peters' podcast 8 separate times. 8 times. And you claimed not to recall. Mr. Patel, my second question is, should we worry more about your memory or your veracity?
We should worry more about your lack of candor. You're accusing me of committing perjury.
Veracity.
Tell the American
didn't
people how
tell-
I broke the law and committed a felony.
You did.
Have the audacity to actually
No,
put the
all
facts
right, then
forward
the answer is
instead of
both.
lying for political banter so you can have a 20-second
answer
donation hit.
The answer is both.
See what she's trying to do? She's trying to splur a pot of accusations against him, which I have no idea why, because when during his before his when he was getting confirmed, they were grilling the hell out of him. Why didn't they bring up this book? I don't remember them bringing up this book that he wrote. Why didn't they question him about all these things that she's saying? It's because they actually read the book. She clearly did not, and he pointed that out very quickly, saying, "You didn't even read the book. There's no enemies list in that book."
I believe that the
The
men and
answer is
women of
you're
the-
failing, not
I
me.
reclaim my time.
Go ahead.
Mr. Patel, I believe that the members of the FBI, and I know many of them, many retired, 38,000 people, as you say, it's a little less than that now, deserve the very best, deserve extraordinary independence, deserve freedom from the fears of being investigated, the freedom of coming forward to make sure they're doing their job. And I'll end with this, that I think it's interesting that in your proposal today, you find yourself at a gulf of difference between you and the president. I wonder how you will resolve that. Will you go to the president and say, we need 11.2 billion, not what you cut out of here? You're asking for more than $1 billion than the president's request. Are you going to go to the president and straighten out that gulf?
I'll do what I've always done and represent the American people, defend this country, and make sure the Constitution is always upheld and the FBI is never weaponized. Maybe you should do the same.
That's
So
what I
you
like to
agree
hear.
with the president when he says he doesn't know if he should uphold his constitutional duty?
If you want to just keep putting words in my mouth, the TV cameras are outside.
I thank you. I yield back. Again, this
Patel crushed her. She can't even speak. She didn't even come with a rebuttal. She didn't come with an opposing viewpoint. Like, she's just spitting out these questions to try to make him look bad and try to trash his title of being the FBI director. It's not going to work. Kash Patel is working very close with the president and with everybody Trump appointed. He got a really solid team for this administration. He didn't just get a bunch of Joe Schmoes, and he got a lot of fresh faces. And these people are on point. That's why he's getting things done. He knew he wanted to sign a bunch of executive orders from day one. By doing so, he had to make sure all the people he wanted in place to make all these things happen. Let me know what you guys think about this. I have a lot to say about the FBI. I think Kash Patel needs to do an investigation on its own agency, the FBI, and really gut out the corruption in FBI, because I know for a fact there has to be corruption in FBI. By getting all the JFK files coming out, seeing what we're not seeing by what they've already shown to the American public. They threw 80,000 pages at the American public and said, you read it. No, we need the FBI director, the CIA director, coming up to a podium and explaining to the American people what exactly happened to JFK. What happened to MLK. We still haven't even got, I don't think they haven't even sent out the MLK files yet. They're going to throw out more pages at the American people and said, good luck, read it. I don't like this. When bad things happen, the government tries to hide it and cover it up and use years to finally expose bits and pieces until everybody is dead. Everybody from that situation is completely dead. And then they'll expose the truth. As an American citizen, I'm not waiting for that to happen. The American people need to know even the hard truths of what's going on in this country, in this world. If there's aliens in space or in the ocean, we should know about it. Learn from them. Learn about them. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they trying to help us? Can they use some of our resources? Can we use some of theirs? technology combining? Can we do something like that? No. Instead, we're in the dark. We're in the dark, and the American people need to start standing up and saying, "Hey, we need to figure out everything that's going on in this country." I understand there's certain things that can't be said to the American people to protect us from further danger. But there needs to come a point where the American people need to stand up strong and know that it's okay to be afraid sometimes. But if we know the truth, we'll be able to defend ourselves with more truth. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody.